Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm going live because I'm sure all of you people in Lake County, the Waukegan area, is aware of the police-involved killing last night. And I'm doing this live video because that was my cousin's son. She has requested that I speak on her behalf. However, I am in New Orleans. I will not be home until tomorrow. I had my children speak for me on the news as I passed on information to them. But however, here we go. Marcellis Stinnette, 19 years old, which is my first cousin's son. He moved up here 2 years ago from Florida to live with my aunt. He was killed last night by Waukegan police. Some of you know my Aunt Josie, her daughter Dreamy. It was her son. He moved up here with his grandma almost 2 years ago. He's been living up here. Last night it was a traffic stop. Him and his girlfriend, she was the driver. They both were shot. However, Marcellis did not survive. They shot the car up. We don't have all the details. We don't have the facts. All we know is that Marcellis is no longer with us. We have full support from Mayor Sam Cunningham. He reached out to me twice today. He reached out to the grandmother. He reached out to the mother who is in Jacksonville, Florida. So I wanted to come on here and clarify some things because my uncle was at the news broadcast and he put some information out there. My uncle Marcellis, he put some information out there that was incorrect. He stated that Mayor Sam Cunningham, he reached out to him 5 times and he did not get an answer. Well, Mayor Sam Cunningham reached out to the family this morning. He reached out to me and left a message and I called him back. He called me on 2 separate occasions. The mayor is very familiar with the family. He grew up with us. He is very concerned. He is very supportive. He's shared some information with me in regards to the details, what took place. He gave me some advice, some very good advice. I'm not going to repeat what he stated, but I just wanted to be known that Mayor Sam Cunningham is supporting the Stinnette family. At this time, we are not placing blame. We are not pointing fingers. We are asking questions. We are seeking information, and we are wanting justice. At the end of the day, Marcellis is no longer with me. He is his mother's only son. He has 5 sisters, but he was the only boy. He came up here 2 years ago to live with his grandmother. He started a life up here, and this was not the news his mother was expecting to receive, that her only son's life has been taken at the hands of the police. Now, what we do know in regards to this, there were no weapons in the car. This did not involve any weapons, no guns. From what we were being told, this was basically a routine traffic stop that turned bad. He was a passenger. The young lady that was driving, his girlfriend, she ended up in ICU or critical condition with a couple bullet wounds. I was told that she will survive and that she is talking. Her mother did a news press. She was on the news. She stated that her daughter talked to her and told her some things. I'm not going to repeat what the mother said. However, she's living, she's breathing, she's talking. She's able to tell her story to her mother, whatever it may be. I reached out to Clyde this morning because I am not in Lake County. I asked him to get information from my family because we needed someone that knew the protocol, that knew how to go about dealing with these officers, that know the questions to ask, that know the information to seek on a professional level. So I reached out to Clyde from Black Lives Matter and I asked him to do that. And yes, he was already on it. When I called Clyde, I did not reach him. He sent me a text message that he would call me back. He called me back, come to find out he did not know that was my family member. And he was on the phone with the chief of police trying to obtain the footage from the video camera when I was reaching out to him. So Clyde is trying to obtain information for us, which we are very grateful. We have not sought a lawyer yet. However, my family does have a lawyer in mind because I was advised that Black Lives Matter They do get a lot accomplished, but in matters like this, we need legal representation to get the answers that we are seeking. My cousin lost her son. He is only 19 years old. We are looking for justice in the event of his death that succumbed because of the police. So we are looking for justice. We've seen this so many numerous times on the news. You know, the George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, all these different people. You know, Breonna is really all over the news right now. You know, we've seen all of this time after time after time. You know, Jacob's family is like family to my family. You know, Jacob's little brother lived with me for a whole entire school year. So when Jacob made the news from the police shooting him, that hit home. That was like my family being attacked, like it reached my doorstep. Never thought that it would actually knock on my door and be at my doorstep in my house, because that's what this is. My cousin, this is my mom's baby sister, daughter, son. This is someone that I grew up with. I'm older than her. She was like one of my kids. She helped, you know, watch after my kids. She was a babysitter when my kids was growing up. This is family. This is blood. So this is, like I said, this is, you know, up close and personal. It's not only at my doorstep. It's in my living room. It's at my dinner table. This is my family. And we're just seeking justice because we want answers. We want to know, why did this baby have to lose his life at such a young age due to the police, somebody that is supposed to serve and protect? We don't have the details. We just want answers. The young lady's family, they called the press conference. That was their press conference. It was, you know, if you watch the news, I don't know how much they're going to show. There was some problems. You know, they had a problem with our family actually being on the news. So we're going to call our own personal newscast so we can actually talk and get our voice out there, because evidently it was a problem with my family being there today. You know, there was some threats made. My son got on the news. He spoke in behalf of my family. My daughter got on the news. They spoke on behalf of my family because I asked my kids to do so, because I was not there and I was supposed to be one of the representatives for my family to speak. But however, I was not there, and since the young lady's family called a newscast conference, my family showed up. They were able to get some things out that they were trying to express. We're grateful for that. However, it did not go the way that we wanted it to go. It was a little disruptive, some confrontations, like I said, some threats coming from their family. But you know what? We're not here to blame anyone. We're not here to attack anyone. We're not here to fight anyone. We're not trying to be combative. We are trying to trust in the Lord and getting us justice in this matter and getting us the answers to the questions that we have. Why is Marcellis down at the Lake County coroner's office? Why is his body down there in a freezer? Why is he not here amongst the living with his family? So we are trying to, yeah, my husband is snoring. We are just trying to, no, you laughing. We're just trying to get some answers, you know, to some questions that any family would want in this case. Never thought our family would be walking in these shoes. However, you know, this is the battle that the Lord saw fit for us to have to go through. And we're just going to try to do it as gracefully as we can, and we want to let the Lord lead and direct our footsteps and fight this battle for us. But we will be seeking legal representation, so therefore somebody that knows how this goes can talk for us. This is not a money thing. This is not it's about justice for Zarvelis Holmes, Dreamy, as y'all know her. This is about justice for her and her husband as to why their son is laying down there in the Lake County coroner's office. So hopefully we'll be able to have our own press conference with the news and speak and get some things out there, ask some questions, get some justice, because that's all we are seeking. I want to thank everybody for keeping the Stinnette family in their prayers. A lot of people have reached out. They've been at my grandmother's house all day today showing my aunt some love because her daughter is not here, so she's the closest thing to his mother right now. So everybody has just been going over there showing her a lot of love and support. Like I said, Mayor Sam Cunningham reached out. His sister reached out. She actually got involved. Next thing I know, he was making phone calls. So I just want to thank the Lake County community, the Waukegan South Side community, the people that are showing us love and support at this time. And you know, I shared some tears this morning. And it's just sad and unfortunate that we have to be going through this, but you never know. Everything that happens is in God's plan. You never know what is going to happen until it's revealed. So we're trying to just, you know, handle this as best as we can, and as calmly and gracefully as we possibly can, because this is a very emotional time right now. People's emotions are raging. They're all over the place. And like I said, we just want justice. We want information. I thank everybody that is supporting the Stinnette family. If you know Josie, reach out to her. I thank you all for keeping us lifted in prayer, because at this time we need prayers. And all I can say is that we will be marching. We will be fighting, but we will be fighting and advocating and doing this the correct way. We are not violent. We are not doing this with violence. We are trying to get our answers, but we are trying to get our answers peacefully. We ask that you all come out and march with us, because we're going to be putting something together. We have full support of Mayor Cunningham. He's already reached out and said, hey, when y'all want to march, let me know. I support y'all. I will be marching with y'all, because that's like family. He grew up right there across the street from the Stinnette family, so he knows all of us, and he supports our family. And you know, it really says a lot when you have the mayor of a city supporting you in a case like this, when you have a police shooting where the police has actually taken a life, and you have a mayor that's willing to stand with you and support you. And we're just really grateful and thankful to Mayor Cunningham for everything that he's reached out and said and that he's doing. And everybody else that is supporting us, that is reaching out, showing love, we thank you. My daughter stated, if anybody seen anything, heard anything that occurred last night when this took place, please come forward. You don't have to let it be known who you are. You can come anonymously and state whatever you've seen, if you've seen something last night, because like she said, this is a community where people is out all day and all night. And this happened right in Waukegan on Martin Luther King and actually Ham Hoes, right there by the Nosco company, the warehouse building that sits on the corner right there. That's where the shooting occurred. And as you all know, that's a very busy area, because it's right there by the Utica projects on it's Martin Luther King now, but it used to be Utica Street. So it occurred 1 block from them projects. And if you drive through there, I don't care what time of day or night you come through that area, you're always going to see someone out. So if anybody was out and they saw anything, heard anything, if you're willing to come forward, you can be anonymous, but please just come forward and let us know what you're seeing. However, we know there is video footage that was taped from the police camera or whatever, but there was also someone out there that went live. So we're just asking, if you know something, like my daughter stated on the news, please come forward and share it. We appreciate it. Even if you don't want to take it to the police, bring it to the family. You know, any type of comfort that you can give to the family at this time is greatly appreciated. And that's really all I want to say. And like I said, my family is not coming to be violent. There were some threats made against us. However, I will say I got some family members that's about their life. They ain't no punks. They ain't going to back down. But like I said, this is not the time for that. But, you know, it's just really sad that we have 2 young people who were in this situation, and the families can't come together and unite, because we're all fighting for the same cause. We all want justice. We all want answers. We all want our questions to be answered. We want facts. We want to know what happened to our loved ones. And it's really unfortunate when you have 2 families that's like tug of war, pulling against each other. You got one family that's ready to fight and making threats, because another family is just there for support and trying to find out what's going on, when it's our loved one that's dead. Our loved one is deceased. Our loved one didn't make it. Your loved one is living to tell a story. She done told her mama her version of what happened. Our loved one can't share that. He was a passenger. So we just want to know what happened. And I just wanted to put this out there. That's why I went live. I see a lot of people came on my Facebook. They was supporting us, giving us prayers. Keep us uplifted in your prayers. His mother has... my cousin has really poor health. By the grace of God, she is still here. I'm going to put this out here. My cousin passed away. She flatlined twice this year, and she's younger than me. She's like 7 years younger than me. 7, 8 years younger. She flatlined twice this year. She has a bad heart. She's going through medical issues that she's facing. When you see her, she may not look like it, but that's because when you look at somebody, everybody don't look like what they're going through. Only but God. Through his grace and mercy, you can, sustain through what you're going through. She don't look like what she's going through, but her health is not the best. She just had a seizure a couple days ago. She's going to be here next week, Monday, Tuesday, because she could not come right now, because she stated to me, if I come right now, I might not make it. Her heart is heavy right now, so just keep her uplifted in prayer, because she needs it. And you never know how you're going to react or what you're going to do until you in the shoes of the next person. So people can say, oh, I said, oh, if it was my son, I would have been here. But when I talked to my cousin this morning and she explained to me why she wasn't eating up the highway or in the sky, getting them miles, them flight miles, when she explained to me why she wasn't here, I said, oh, now I understand. Because we're always so quick to want to judge. Oh, I do this. I know if it was DJ, I would have been there. You can always say what you would do, but you never know what you're going to do unless you're in that situation. And when my cousin explained to me that her health was more important because she got to be here to get justice for her son, she got to be here to stand for him and fight his fight, I said, you know what? I'm glad you shared that, because I was one of the people saying, why you not on your way? So until my cousin get here, I'm standing in the front line. I'm fighting for her. I'm advocating. I'm doing whatever I can to help her through this process. I'm here for her. I was reaching out this morning, getting the people on the phone that I needed to be getting on the phone to fight this fight, to get these answers. And like I said, just keep her uplifted in prayer, because we're going to need it. And it's been a minute since we've had that I can remember that we've had a police shooting in Waukegan where they actually took the life of somebody. It's been a few years, and so I'm just I'm really in awe. I'm in shock. You got to be careful what come out of your mouth. You can speak things into existence, because my son shared some stuff with this young man last month, and we getting ready to prepare for his funeral. So I just want y'all to keep us uplifted in your prayers. Keep his mother uplifted. She's going to need it. That was her only son. And we just seeking justice. We want answers from the Waukegan Police Department. Shout out to Clyde McLemore. Clyde do the most. I always talk about Clyde. I always say he do the most. Clyde do the most. But Clyde get things done, and I always give him credit. And sometimes he call me and be like, why you put that out there? You coming for me? No, I ain't coming for you, brother, because you know what? I respect what you do, because you get things done. You might be messy as hell, but you get things done. And I want to shout him out, because when I called him this morning, because I was not at home, I said, Clyde, this is what's going down. My cousin in Florida, she need me to speak for her. I'm not there. I need you to find out what happened. He said, I was already on it. When I sent you that text message, I was on the other line with the chief of police trying to get the video footage. I said, well, that's my family. I need you to handle that. We need some answers. So I reached out to him, and he was there. He was at the front line before he even knew who the family was. So I want to shout him out. Clyde McLemore, I love you, brother. Sometimes we have our differences, but we ain't never fell out. You call me your little sister, and I love you, and I appreciate you for everything you do. And I really appreciate you for standing in the gap for my family and interceding. We might not agree on this lawyer situation right now, but I love you, and I appreciate the support and what you're doing for us. And again, I'm getting ready to end this. I just want to say thank you to everybody. Keep praying for my family, because we're going to need it. Never thought we would be going through this, but you never know. Who God's going to call to the battle, for what battle. And today we found out, this is a fight that we have to fight. I thought Jacob's family, by them being close enough to us, I thought that was, family enough to have to go through this. But now my immediate family, my blood family, is going through this. And we're going to fight this fight. We're going to do it swiftly, and we're going to do it with the Lord. So I thank you all for tuning in. I just needed to put this out there and share this because there was some things said that I needed to correct. Mayor Cunningham has been supporting the family 110%. He went above and beyond the call of duty to reach out. He reached out to the grandmother because the mother was not here. He grew up with the family. He knows the grandmother very well. He reached out to me on 2 occasions today. I got 2 phone calls and 2 text messages. I had to send him the mother's information so he could reach out to her. So I just want to shout him out again. Thank you, Mayor, for supporting us. And I thank everybody else that's on here that is supporting, that's praying. And just keep us uplifted. And I'm going to end this here. I see somebody, what you say, just because you can't see the scars doesn't mean you're not fighting the battle. That's right. You know what? And I've been telling my kids, and I've been sharing this for the last couple of weeks. I've been telling people, you never know what people are going through. You never know what somebody got on their plate. You know, just because people don't, it's because of God. You don't look like you're going through what you're going through, you know, and that's why you need to treat people the way you want to be treated. You want to receive everybody with the love of Jesus, because you don't know what people are going through. You know, you could do something to somebody or say something and trigger them, and they snap off and kill you or do anything, because you don't know exactly what they battling. You don't know what they going through. So you just have to love on people. And you know, if you can't love on them, just keep your distance, because you never know. You want to treat people the way you want to be treated. And I thank you all. I'm getting ready to end this. I thank you all for tuning in. Pass this on. Waukegan Police Department will be held accountable. We want answers. We will be getting justice, because his death will not be in vain. The young lady gets to live and tell her story, but Marcellis doesn't. So guess what? He has a lot of family that will stand and fight in his honor and get the justice that he deserves and that he needs, because the baby was 19. His life shouldn't have been cut down so soon. So we're going to get them answers, and we're going to get justice. And that's all I have to say. Thank you all for tuning in. God bless y'all. I love y'all. Share this video. Keep my family uplifted. And you never know who is Stinnette or who related. So share this video. You might be talking to a friend or a family member and find out they in our family. So share this, because people need to know when we go out to rally and march, we want support. We want people to march with us, because you know what? You don't want to be the next victim. You don't want this showing up at your family's doorstep. You don't want to have to bury your son. You don't want to have to bury your loved one. Share this video. Talk to people. Support this. Hold Waukegan Police Department accountable for their actions. We need to know why this baby was murdered in cold blood. No weapon, no gun, no nothing. You shot them at a routine traffic stop. You shot up the car. He lost his life. The young lady ended up in critical condition. We need answers, not just for my family, but for the next family, so there won't be any other families. So hopefully the mother gets here next week. So we'll probably try to do a march when she get here. I have to reach back out to her and talk to her and find out. Yes, Monica, we are going to reach out to the news channel. Well, we're going to reach out to the news people and do our own press conference, because the young lady's family wasn't receiving of us being there. You know, they shared the fact that they hate the Stinnettes and some other things, and, you know, made some threats. So they was not pleased with us showing up. But we lost a loved one, so of course we showed up to support her, as well as get it out there, because we want justice for our family. So we will be reaching out to the news, and we will be marching. I will keep you all posted, because like I said, I'm going to be helping my cousin. I've been making a lot of phone calls. I've been making moves for her, because she in Jacksonville, Florida. So I've been making phone calls and, you know, getting people on the phone and setting stuff up and communicating with the mayor and different people, important people that can actually do some things and help get some things going. So I will keep you all posted. I will let you know when we having the march. Kim Handy, her grandmother's house is right next door to my grandmother's house, where my cousin's mom lived. You know, she went through this a few years ago with Cordell Handy. That was family. I watched that baby grow up. Hey, it was at our doorstep then. We thought that was as close as it was going to get. Never thought that it would be in our living room, sitting at our dining table, because that's where it has. That's exactly where it has led to. So I'm going to end this video now. I've did more than enough talking. Share it. Look for future videos. Look for future posts. I will keep you all posted, because we will be marching for justice for Marcellis. Pass it on. And until we meet again, unfortunately under these very sad circumstances, but I will keep you all updated, and I will keep posting things, letting you all know. And just follow it, because it's going to be on the news. You'll see it on the news. It's going to be some, you're going to see and hear some stuff on the news today that was not what the Stinnettes wanted to display. But like I said, there's two families involved. We coming with love and peace. We coming for justice. We coming with the love of Jesus, seeking answers. We don't want violence. We don't want to be fighting and feuding with no other family. We don't want, because we could be pointing the finger and you know, pointing blame, because the young lady was driving. They saying that she tried to drive off. You know, we could be pointing our finger. We're not pointing our finger. We're asking the police, why did you unload and open fire on that car and kill that baby? You know, that's what we are seeking. We're seeking answers about that. The other family is just trying to, you know, I don't know. I don't understand, but like I said, they've made threats. They made threats to my kids. They made threats to my family members. And that's not what we about. So you know what? We're going to love them with the love of Jesus. That's how we receive them, because the devil gets no glory in this battle. He gets no glory. He gets no glory because we want justice for Marcellis. Okay, I'm going to end this video. I thank you all for tuning in. Share it. I thank y'all for the support. I thank y'all for the prayers, as we are going to need a lot of prayers and strength to get through this, because it was so unfortunate and we didn't see this coming. Thank you. God bless y'all. I will keep you all informed. I will continue to let y'all know what's going on, and I will keep you all advised on when the march will be. Thank you, and God bless.